Stephen A. Smith talking about awful announcing and sports media's clickbait culture. Wiley, you're up to bat. Let's listen.
He's not alone.
You gonna talk?
Because I don't get to read, or I don't choose to read much from awful announcing. Not all the time, not casting any aspersions on them, not saying they're not a worthy website. I'm not judging them. I don't read their material enough to make that kind of judgment.
Why don't?
Be very, very clear about that.
Why don't?
I do not.
Why don't you?
But boy, do they make a habit of mentioning me all the time.
That's facts.
I don't know how many times a day or per week I'm on their website. I do know, and I can easily surmise that clearly my name drives traffic and keeps their website afloat as much as they mention me. Why else would you? But they wrote an article that's circulating all over the place today with Mike Wilbon of PTI, former columnist for the Washington Post, being on one of their panels and saying, quote, Stephen A. Smith is not a journalist. He is a show. Before I go any further about this, let's hear what Michael Wilbon had to say.
Okay, before they get there, let's just talk about what he said now. Up to this point, he is dead right. Now, I don't believe in sports media's clickbait culture. I understand there are some willful participants who really are into that, and I'll even talk about myself. But the reason I really like this topic is because, one, is Stephen A. Smith addressing something that I've been addressing. So a lot of times you guys are like, yo, why you always talking about Stephen A. Smith? There was a time where it was like, why you always talking about Ryan Clark? And then y'all also counter that by saying, why don't you talk about Jason Whitlock? And the real reason I told you then, but I'm glad Stephen A. Smith is bringing it up now, is because I used to go to one website to get most of my topics, almost all of them, and it was awful announcing. I used to show y'all, I'd be like, this is awful announcing, awful announcing, awful announcing. And finally I started to realize, I'm like, dog, I am talking about them too much. And I'm thinking that's what everybody wants to hear. And I'm thinking that's all there is out there to hear. Then I was like, nah, dog. Now, I'm not going 3rd and goal and 4th and 1. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that deep analysis on this show, right? We're going to talk about sports and sports media. But I thought awful announcing was giving me the global perspective, real spit. And then I started realizing, like, damn, you're right. And Stephen A. Smith is right. Stephen A. Smith is like, yo, enough. And so I was like, I'm like, why don't talk about Whitlock? And then I start seeing their bias. Because when then some topics would come up, whether they were social or political, they're very left-leaning. And I start seeing choice words in there. And I was like, oh, man, I done fell for the okie doke. They got me talking about certain people all the time, and then they're going to lean with their politics, but they're going to put it in the slightest way. And look, I still go to their site because how did I get this topic? Went to awful announcing. Who's it about? Stephen A. Smith. Get it? The ecosystem is eating its own, is feeding itself. But at the same time, I do respect what Stephen A. Smith's saying, like, dog, y'all talk about anything and everything I do. I don't have a problem with that. But the website is big enough, grand enough, you got enough employees. Put some Whitlock in there. Put some other people in there that are making noise, making waves. I mean, they don't do anybody else, really. They rarely do McAfee, which is crazy. They do Stephen A. Smith. They were doing a ton of Ryan Clark. And now it seems like Stephen A. Smith going to turn the tides on them. Let's go.
Listen to this.
I'm going to take a page out of Stephen A. now, if he was looking. Stephen A., I'm looking at you. I love you. You know that. Stop. You're not a journalist anymore. You're not doing what you did at the Philly Inquirer. Stop, dude. I know what you did there because I was shoulder to shoulder with you at press row and in press boxes and practice. Yes, practice. Yeah. Allen Iverson's practicing. Stop. No. Stephen A. is a show. He's a show. He knows it. He wants to be the show, and he's doing a damn good job at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Michael Wilbon.
Tough position right now. Be real. Stephen A. Smith, like, he didn't go at me. He didn't come at me, and that's my dog. But at the same time, because of the context, because it's awful announcing, you got a little gripe with him. You got a little issue with him. Because of the context, because of how close you are right now to some issue I do have, this ain't the time to hear that, big dog. You ever had your boy say something to you like, ain't nothing wrong with you saying right now, but this ain't the time, dog. This ain't the time. This wasn't the time to hear that. But Awful Announcing went with it because it was on their website. It was on their podcast. So, Stephen A., go get them.
Let me tell you how slick Awful Announcing is with all of this.
Let's hear.
And how shady they are.
Ooh.
How you present a question matters.
Leading the witness.
I want to applaud them. Nice try. Because you can ask Mike Wilbon a question any way you want to. Mike Wilbon could cuss me out, go to hell off, and tell me I'm not a journalist in my face. I'd still hug him, love him, and we'd still be hanging out the next minute. That's my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. We feel you. We good.
You don't even understand the level of love I have for that man. That we all do. We revere him, not just love him and trust him. And nothing he said was wrong.
Oh, he thinks.
Of course I'm not doing what I used to do. Mad Dog Russo is not in the locker room all the time. He's a Hall of Fame radio host. JT the Brick, Mr. Overnight, that's what I call him, because damn it, when you talk about late night radio, I mean, JT the Brick, I can't get enough of him. He's must listen to radio. Nobody comes before him.
Okay, I can hear my English teacher right now in my head just beating me up, saying, Marcellus, correct them, stop it. Okay, so we all know when we had to turn in those papers, like starting into like the 8th grade, whenever you had to turn in those papers, and you get your 2 grades, only you get an A over a C or A over a B, A over A, whatever it may be. Like grammar, rhetoric, structure, and then also just meaning, like what were you trying to say? Message, right? What content? I'm not going to argue Stephen A's content to this point right now. There's nothing to argue. He's right. Like, Wilbon didn't take no shots at him. And right now, he hasn't set it up in structure for me to know what his real issue is. His topic sentence right now. I don't like Awful Announcing using my name all the time. Now, you got to follow that up with why. He hasn't done that yet. He's given us examples of other people who are not doing it the same. But Stephen A., they talking about you. It's your turn. You got the mic. You on the camera. We want to hear why you don't do it the same. You are not Mad Dog Russo. I understand where you're going with it, but my English teacher just told me topic sentence and then follow up them conclusion. We need to get there so we can know where you are. Now let's go.
Adam Shine is here on this station doing exemplary work all the time. He's a radio host. If he does other things, doesn't it come back to him being a radio host? I wasn't trying to imply that I'm a journalist, meaning I'm in the locker room being accountable to the people I talk about every single story or every single angle that I take. I don't have the time. I do 22 hours of live content per week.
That's all.
Over 900 hours a year.
That's getting it.
I am universally recognized, if for nothing else, my hard work.
Facts.
But because I'm not a beat writer anymore in the locker room, folks want to say, I'm not a journalist. You don't get the right to say that. Mike Wilbon does.
Now, that's when we got a problem. I knew he was going to do this. I knew that the logic was going to get into a pretzel. So wait a minute. They are doing a podcast, Awful Announcing, asking your brother, Michael Wilbon, about you being a journalist or you just in sports media where you are. And Michael Wilbon takes the liberty to say Stephen A. Smith is not a journalist anymore. What he's doing is not journalism anymore. He's a show, which is a compliment. Like, it's like almost going up to somebody and say, man, he ain't no backpack rapper. He ain't no street corner rapper. The dude is mainstream. And people get, I'm mainstream. Remember they did this to Will Smith, the first dude to ever win a Grammy. He's mainstream. Yeah, I'm selling a gang album. What you talking about? Like, what we doing? And Will Smith wasn't outselling at that time. Run DMC, who came before him. Beastie Boys, who came before him. These are legendary. LL Cool J. Like, but no, you mainstream. dog, it's okay. Like, I get how journalism gives everyone a badge of honor. Oh, I got it out the mud. I had my pocket, my pen in my pocket, and I had my notepad, and I was a beat writer. But you ain't that no more. But I don't understand why. Well, actually, I do understand. Why do people want to be down so much? And look, I can easily say that because I'm from where it's down. I'm from the mud. So I ain't even got to like act like I'm from the mud. And it's so weird when I hear people try so hard to stay down or stay in the mud. I'm like, are you really from it? Because if you're really from it, you don't want to claim it like that no more. You respect it, you salute it, but you out of there. I was listening to 50 Cent had a song. I don't know, I don't know lyrics, but 50 Cent had a song where he was saying, if I could hate it or love it or something like that, the ground don't stop. He was like, if I could lead the hood, I would. Yeah. Like, dog, will we stop with this? So, Stephen A., you are not a beat writer anymore. You are not sitting there eating a continental breakfast, waiting for some athlete to come in half dressed to say, nah, I'm good, to say, no comment. You know what I mean? You're not that no more. And we applaud that. But it seems like there's always this tension, this resentment, this gravity that, nah, I'm still that. You not. Let it go. And I want to hear you flow. Let's go.
Because Mike Wilbon has done it. And I get where Michael Wilbon is coming from because he's speaking in a literal sense about what I do right now. When I say to an athlete that'll come at me or anybody else in sports that I'm a journalist, I'm talking about by trade and nature. I'm talking about a body of work that spans decades. No, I don't have to do that anymore. I've graduated.
Thank you. You graduated. So stop going back to the damn school. Everybody want to go back a couple times, right? Just to floss, just to stunt. But stop going. You going there more than you did when you were going there. Come on. Here we go. Michael Wilbon said you are not a journalist anymore. You like, that's my brother. That's good. The website says you're not a journalist anymore. You got a problem with it. How, Sway? They trying to tell you the same thing. They actually are saying the same thing. It's just one of them you like. One of them is your brother. And the other one you're like, man, y'all using me up for clicks and bait. When we all use each other for clickbait, will we stop with this? If we gonna argue over clickbait, to me, arguing over clickbait is like arguing over skin color. It's arguing over, well, you black and you white, and that's informing me who you are. It's not. It's the dumbest argument. It's the same thing, this grouping, like, you do not get informed of somebody's character, intellect, etc., based on their skin color. Now, if you want to be lazy, you want to be simple, you want to generalize, you want to stereotype, of course. Because that means you can just bring in anything you want. But if we're being exact, if we're being precise, if we're talking with precision, you can't learn anything based off of someone's skin color, or you can't base it off of what someone's title is. You got to know them. Because you as a journalist is not the same as Wilbon as a journalist, as we have seen in how your shows are. And that's a salute, dog. If you take that as a diss, because you didn't take it as a diss from Wilbon, why are you taking it as a diss from the website? I'm listening.
There are journalists, there are columnists. There are columnists and there's commentators and radio hosts. Everything comes with it. But the point is, responsibilities change, but the nature of who you are isn't. I don't just come on the air and bloviate out the mouth. I make phone calls. I have resources.
Okay.
People educate me about what's going on all the damn time. I'm just not in somebody's face immediately upon talking about them because I don't have the means to be able to do that. This is not I Dream of Jeannie back in the day. I can't snap my damn fingers and be 3,000 miles away.
Remember that?
Or even down a damn block. I got to be in studio, mic'd up, etc. Responsibility. The nature as commentators, as radio hosts, etc., emanates, in my case, from years of journalism.
Okay. Now y'all starting to see it, huh? Like people don't want to let that go. I mean, Dan Le Batard talks about journalism a lot as well, and he's talking about it as a dying breed. And you can hear Stephen A. Smith right now trying to resuscitate it so that it gives him credibility, or at least it gives him his foundation again. Because people, it sounds like Stephen A. Smith, he sounds like somebody who from the hood, who left the hood, and people call him a sellout now. And so now he's trying to prove how hood he still is. Dog, you ain't gonna change them people's mind. Them people gonna think you are who you are based on who they think you are, not who you really are. You just gotta keep being you. Be a show. This is the best time ever to be a show. This is the worst time ever to be a journalist. Ain't nobody got time to be reading all that. Ain't nobody got time to be hearing all that. Journalist is dead. Like Dan Le Batard says, it's dead. And I don't know why everybody keep walking around here with this badge talking about, I used to be a journalist. And you think I give you respect or credit because of that? Right? It's the same thing that people do when they flex when they're like, I'm an author. Dog, I could self-publish a book today. I'm an author. Like, what are you doing? We ain't the same. So stop trying to hide behind the title. Title's dead. Journalism, dead. The way we doing it, dead. I don't even know what they were doing back then, but we didn't have enough coverage and options to really examine it. Journalism. All the beat writers I knew, let me just tell you for real. I love me some Sam Farmer, love me a bunch of beat writers. Here's the problem. A lot of them just was in there saying what happened, why it happened, where did it happen, when did that happen, and then they were just writing it, and then they put their own little prose to it. Was that journalism? I don't know. Did you go to Syracuse to learn that, sir? I don't know. And a lot of them did their job the right way. I ain't the athlete to say, oh, they killed me. Nah, when I was sorry, or when I wasn't as good as expectations, they killed me. When I was living up to them or exceeding them, they gave me love. I dictated the articles I felt. Some people, it ain't like that. Some people, no matter what they do, they're going to catch some hell. LeBron, etc. But come on, man. Everybody walk around here. I'm from the hood. No, you ain't. And if you are, why you keep talking about it? We get it. It's enough.
At the New York Daily News, at the Philadelphia Inquirer, at CNN, at Fox Sports, at ESPN, at Sirius XM. That's my career. It comes from someplace.
I know where it comes from.
But Mike Wilbon's answering that question because it's presented to him in a fashion that says Stephen A. always says he's a journalist, but this is what he is doing, as opposed to me saying I'm a journalist based on what I've done.
Can't let that slip by. We ain't doing that here today. So you saying the way that they ask the question matters so much that you're going to discredit that they both got to the same answer? Like Wilbon is so genius in this game that we're talking sports media, that no matter how you ask him the question, he know how to get to the answer. In NFL media, they got media training. NFL media training, I remember my rookie year, one of the first rules were you don't have to answer every question the way that they ask it. Basically, they can ask you, is your coach good or bad? Do you like your coach? Yes or no? You ain't got to answer that. You can say, you know what? Our coach sets us up to be in a position where we can have winning outcomes, and it's on us players to make sure that we have that. I ain't got to answer, is he a good or bad coach? They can ask you anything. I learned this my rookie year, 1997. I don't give a damn what you ask me. It's what I answered. So come on, man. They got to the same place. Don't tell me how they got there. They got there.
And what my nature is, I don't just talk. I get intel. I cultivate sources. I network. The Stephen A. Smith Show on politics. I've had over 50 politicians on my show. Representatives and senators. Sports. You see people coming on the show all the time. Players, former, present, coaches, former, present, executives, owners. When I sat down with Commissioner Goodell, was that not journalism? When I sat down with Adam Silver and Gary Bettman and Rob Manfred, was that not journalism?
Okay, let's go. All right, let's sum this one up. I mean, really, that doesn't have to be journalism. It could just be a TV host and have that happen, right? You know, like Bill Maher. I love Bill Maher. He have on famous people all the time. He ain't no journalist. He a comedian. You could be you could be on 106 in Park and have all these rappers on there. You ain't no journalist and you ain't no rapper. You just a host. You do a show and it's amazing you can't check every box. What I learned too growing up, and I hope we all can connect on this point, you can't check every box, right? You can't. You can't be a king of all. You can try and be a jack of all, but you can't be a king of all. So what you start to see is, and this is a success conversation, when you start to ascend, when you start to become in rare air, you start to notice a disconnect from where you came from. That's part of the ascension. Like, we want to grow in resources. We want to be richer. We want to have a bigger house. We want to live in a better neighborhood. We want everything to change except ourselves, or at least the perception of who we are. It don't go that way, dog. I remember I was on the phone with my big brother, Curtis Conway. Y'all know him. Shout out to him and the family. Layla Ali, all the family, love. And Seaway checked me on something one day. He said, "Wild style." That's what he called me. "Baby bro, look, how old are you?" And I think at the time I was like 45 or something. He was like, "Okay, you 45 and you grew up, we know where you grew up, but you grew up there till you 18. You 45 now. I just want to tell you, bro, you've been out the hood longer than you was in the hood. Just remember that when you're talking, because you ain't going to change these dudes' mind on you. They don't see your stripes. They don't respect your stripes. They don't care about your stripes. They love you when you come back. They love you when they see you. They love you when they connect. They love you with your content. But don't act like you going through what they going through right now. And remember, what they going through right now, you done been far removed from it. And it's been a while. And it's been longer than you were in it." Whoa, I'm sitting there like, I swear, I never did that mental math. I never knew how my messages were being received by those who are still where I'm from. You know, when I go back, I've been to the Compton parade a gang of times. 2 times I was the Grand Marshal, which is weird. I'm like, damn, Grand Marshal again? Only in Compton. You know what I'm saying? I think Dr. Dre been it 3 times, Kendrick twice, me twice, Game twice, you know what I mean? But, I mean, it's an honor. But at the same time, you got to understand, like, I think it would be so false of me to act like I am that still. And that's what I'm getting from Stephen A. Smith. It's like, he still want to wear that hood badge of journalism. Dog, good for you. And I know journalism has highbrow and high levels as well. But he talking about beat writer. He talking about out the mud. Let it go. You know how far you've been removed from that? All them suits and makeup you wearing. Ain't nobody wearing no makeup and suit in no damn locker room and no beat writer. Like, take your props. It always tripped me out. Remember that it was an era when everybody was clowning success? And especially in like hip hop culture and sports culture. Like, we doing it now. You want a ring chase. Back then it was like, oh, you selling out. You going mainstream. They tried to do that to Will Smith. Oh, he got a TV show. Who he think he is? I thought he was a rapper. What are you doing with a TV show? You think that worked out? They did it with Ice Cube. Look at Ice Cube. He want to do movies and stuff. What are you trying to do? I thought he was a rapper. How'd that turn out? Okay, they did it with MC Hammer. He think he fresh. He's supposed to be rapping and dancing. Now he over there got cartoons and he got cereal and he got dolls. If you don't get on my face, people want to change their address, but don't want to change who they are and how people address them. Get him, Wiley, over here preaching. So, look, I don't get the guilt trip, and I also don't get the insecurity from Stephen A. Smith. Let it go. You are what you are. You are what they say you are. And we let them off the hook. Oh, man, I just saw that. Deep stuff right there. But we all go through it. Let's be real. We all go through it, and your boy be like, oh, that's how you acting now? And you be like, no. Ain't that the natural reflex when your boy say, oh, that's how you acting now? No. How about we change it? That's how you acting now? Hell yeah. I ain't the same. Things just ain't the same for gangsters. Times are changing. Young people aging. Come on, man. I ain't take my rap Tourette's medicine. It's going down today. So beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Why is Stephen A. Smith still set tripping? Why is he mad at himself? But not, he mad at Awful Announcing, who said the exact same thing as Michael Wilbon, but he cool with Michael Wilbon saying it. Anyway, you know how the game goes. Okay, beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about that.